In the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Yeah.
That woke is a word used by the black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate.
At all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous.
Bill Maher didn't just disagree with Sunny Hostin. He tore through her arguments with the sharpness of a blade and the confidence of a man who's seen this game 1,000 times before. His words sliced clean through Hollywood's fragile woke armor, leaving the entire studio frozen in disbelief. It wasn't just a debate. It was a public reckoning, a moment where everyone realized Maher had stopped playing nice with the narrative. The most shocking part? These two are supposed to be on the same side, both leaning left. But Maher made it clear he's done bowing to blind loyalty. With calm fury and devastating wit, he exposed the cracks in their logic right there on live television, turning a friendly chat into a moment of pure, unforgettable drama.
In the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left? Watching people protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas? That straightened me up pretty quick.
Sunny Hostin thought she had Bill Maher cornered when she boldly called him a hypocrite. But she couldn't have been more wrong. She stepped into the ring, thinking she was the chess master, but Maher flipped the entire board before she could even make her move. Her plan was simple: frame him as a man attacking a culture he supposedly belonged to. But Maher's no fool. He's been around too long to fall for that tired tactic. He saw straight through her setup like crystal clear glass and shut down her trap with precision and poise. The best part? The entire audience could feel the tension explode as Maher turned the moment into a spectacular reversal, one that left Hostin's confidence crumbling and the woke mob gasping for air.
It struck me that in the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Yeah.
So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
If you're enjoying this takedown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bill Maher's recent appearance on The View was supposed to be a simple, polished PR stop for his new book. But what unfolded was an absolute firestorm. The audience expected light conversation, yet they witnessed a verbal clash so fierce it felt like intellectual combat on live TV. Maher, known for his left-leaning views, shocked everyone by turning his razor-sharp wit on his own side, and the reaction was explosive. It wasn't just a talk show anymore, it was a full-blown roast, with the woke ideology sizzling under the spotlight. It all kicked off when Sunny Hostin tried to corner Maher, accusing him of weaponizing the word woke. But instead of backing down, he unleashed a calm yet cutting response that instantly shifted the entire tone of the show.
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want.
Okay.
Because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know, want to call it the super far left?
Sunny Hostin thought she was playing a masterful game of strategy, moving her pieces with confidence as if she held all the power on the board. When she suddenly accused Bill Maher of being a hypocrite, she expected him to stumble, but instead, she triggered a moment of pure television gold. She tried to paint him as a man attacking a culture he once supported, hoping to expose him as inconsistent, yet Maher didn't even flinch. His calm stare said it all. He saw her game from a mile away. In seconds, he dismantled her accusation, revealing the hollow logic behind it. The studio's energy shifted. People leaned forward, jaws slightly open, as Maher flipped the trap she'd set right back onto her. The woke panel sat speechless while he dissected their favorite tactic, twisting words to corner anyone who dares to disagree. Maher exposed that move for what it truly was: manipulation dressed as morality. By the time he was done, Hostin's argument lay in ruins, her confidence replaced by an awkward silence that echoed louder than applause.
But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a joke. But,
Too dark, too dark.
Well, maybe it is, but it's true. I mean, you know, if I had any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left, watching people protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas, that straightened me up pretty quick.
Bill Maher's response was nothing short of masterful, a calm, calculated move that left Sunny Hostin's argument crumbling in real time. Instead of taking her bait, he elegantly sidestepped her trap, explaining that language evolves just like society itself. What a word means today might mean something entirely different tomorrow, he said, and his use of woke wasn't a mockery. It was a reflection of how the far left twisted the term into something unrecognizable. The audience leaned in as Maher's reasoning sliced through the tension like a laser. Hostin, expecting him to stumble, suddenly found herself trapped in her own rhetorical web. With quiet brilliance, Maher turned her accusation into proof of her own hypocrisy, flipping the script so smoothly that the crowd erupted in murmurs of shock and admiration. It wasn't just a clapback, it was an intellectual ambush, flawlessly executed and impossible to ignore. The energy in the room shifted completely. Even the most die-hard, woke defenders couldn't help but realize they'd just witnessed a master at work.
It's just astounding to me that they can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. I mean, just morally. I mean, let me tell you, if you're for Hamas, just live in Gaza for a day. And I'm not talking about while the war is on. I mean, before the war. Trust me, you would go running and screaming and begging to live in Tel Aviv, a place that has your values.
Did you see that moment? Bill Maher, a lifelong liberal, stunned everyone when he admitted that his perspective changed the instant he saw the so-called woke crowd openly cheering for Hamas. Yes, Hamas, the very group infamous for demanding that Israel be erased from existence. The entire studio went silent as he spoke, his tone sharp, his conviction unshakable. He wasn't mincing words. He was horrified by what he saw, and he made sure everyone knew it. Maher called out how this dangerous ideology spreads hatred like wildfire, crossing borders and poisoning minds with the idea that Israel's mere existence is the problem. The hypocrisy was staggering, and Maher wasn't about to stay quiet. For someone who's always identified with liberal values, his disgust toward this twisted cheering exposed just how far the woke fringe has strayed from compassion and logic. His honesty hit hard, cutting through the political noise like thunder. And in that moment, the audience knew they were witnessing a rare thing on live TV. A man with the guts to say what everyone else was too afraid to shout.
I mean, women have no, I mean, this is a show watched by a lot of women. Women have no rights in this place, and a lot of majority Muslim countries around the world. I mean, there is no equal rights as far as speech, dress, opportunities for education,
Nothing.
Reproductive rights, freedom from sexual violence, freedom from sexual harassment.
The LGBTQ community as well.
Yes.
That too. But you throw around the term apartheid. There is a gender apartheid in a lot of the world, where women are second-class citizens, at best.
Maher didn't stop there. He delivered another devastating truth that sent shockwaves through the studio. He boldly declared that most of the women on The View, including Sunny Hostin, would absolutely choose to live in Israel over Palestine if given the chance. And deep down, they knew it. His words hit like a sledgehammer because he was right. Israel, he explained, embraces freedoms and rights that mirror American values, while in many parts of Palestine, strict laws suffocate women's independence and silence their voices. Maher didn't sugarcoat it. He confronted the hypocrisy head-on, exposing how those who claim to fight for women's rights often defend systems that destroy them. The air grew heavy as he spoke. The audience caught between shock and applause. It was a brutal but necessary truth that cut straight through the noise. These critics of Israel, he said, wouldn't survive 5 minutes under the oppressive laws they refused to condemn. The tension was electric. Hostin's confident demeanor cracked, and for a split second, even she couldn't find the words to fight back. Maher had done the unthinkable. He shattered their moral double standard live, and the room would never forget it.
Are you at all concerned about the innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women?
Of
and
course.
are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war.
Why?
It's a war. Because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed?
Maher struck again, this time with another unflinching blow that made the entire panel freeze. He spotlighted the deep gender inequality rampant in many Muslim-majority nations, calling out the tragic reality that women there face daily. And yet, he pointed out, these are the same countries the so-called woke crowd rushes to defend without ever acknowledging the pain and oppression within them. The irony was staggering. Maher's voice carried both authority and frustration as he urged them to open their eyes, to see beyond their curated social narratives. He challenged them to step into those societies, to witness firsthand how women are silenced, restricted, and denied the very rights they claim to protect. It was subtle, but it landed like a punch, his calm words cutting deeper than any shout could. Hostin and her co-hosts tried to recover by playing the predictable innocent civilians card, but the attempt fell flat. Maher stood firm, his expression steady and unbothered, proving he wouldn't bow to emotional manipulation or media spin. The audience erupted, sensing that the power dynamic had completely shifted. Maher had taken full control, and his critics were out of moves.
This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how can
Okay,
we do
well,
that with a ceasefire?
All right, so Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means, okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community, and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that.
But are you
I assume the
concerned about
Israeli.
innocent lives?
Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
By this point, Sunny Hostin was running out of moves, and everyone could see it. After Bill Maher's sharp dismantling of her earlier argument, she grew desperate and tried to twist his stance yet again. This time, she implied that he was somehow supporting violence against innocent civilians, a last-ditch effort to paint him as cold-hearted and cruel. The tactic was clear as day. When logic fails, attack character. Maher, however, didn't blink. His calm smile said everything. He was ready for this. He fired back with precision, exposing her accusation as nothing more than emotional manipulation wrapped in false morality. The tension was thick, the audience holding its breath as Maher turned her own words against her, step by step. His counter wasn't just clever, it was devastating. Hostin's expression faltered, her confidence slipping, as she realized she had just handed him another easy victory. The crowd's reaction said it all, a mix of disbelief and admiration as Maher completely reversed the narrative. In one move, he shattered not only her argument, but the entire playbook the woke side has leaned on for years. It was strategy, intelligence, and fearlessness, all rolled into one explosive moment.
It's just nothing.
Yeah.
And it's narrative over truth. You know,
That's-
I mean,
yes.
it's not like when I hear people talk on either side of it, I always think they're lying. They're just telling me half of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I never trust them anywhere until I check out the other half.
Yeah.
There's old school liberals, which I would mostly count myself as, old school conservatives. There's still some of those
You've
left.
changed, though.
Wait, what are the other two?
Go ahead.
What are the other two?
Well, that's what I well, that's what I was trying to find out in this book. I don't think
Yeah.
I have. And you know, we were saying in the break we have to come up with a new word for woke. Let's have a contest because this is a word that's triggering. But I mean, those concepts that are different than they were 5 years ago.
Then it happened. A truth bomb dropped so hard it made the studio erupt in shock and applause. Bill Maher, calm as ever, unleashed a line so precise it silenced everyone in the room. The crowd exploded in cheers, but not everyone joined in. Sunny Hostin sat there frozen, her expression caught somewhere between disbelief and humiliation. She looked like she'd been hit by a verbal thunderbolt, and she knew it. Maher hadn't just won an argument, he had dismantled an entire belief system right before a live audience. Even his usual critics couldn't help but clap, because when the truth hits that hard, it's impossible to ignore. Maher's mastery was undeniable. He didn't just speak, he surgically exposed how the woke narrative collapses under its own contradictions. But just when it seemed he was done, Whoopi Goldberg tossed him another question, asking if the media twists stories to fit its own agenda. The way Maher answered, pure brilliance. He didn't raise his voice, yet every word carried the weight of a thunderstorm, sending shockwaves through the studio as cameras kept rolling.